Courts and Public Safety meeting to order, and we'll touch with this. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so at this point,
Put your hand over your head. Okay, just check.
what?
I'll make a motion if you adopt it, yeah.
But
We have to make a
do we have to remove the
childcare fund.
because she's
report.
not
Okay.
here? So we need a motion to remove the,
Well, just to remove it and then we'll just approve that with the removed.
okay. Okay, and Bill.
I'll make the
second?
motion and then we take Mott out of it.
Okay,
Okay.
Second.
okay. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Okay. Okay, so do we have roll call? Or we don't do roll call? No? We can. Okay, I don't think we need. Okay. Okay, Mr. Edmonds,
Public comment.
public comment.
Got anyone online?
I guess we're good.
Okay,
Unless Rob wants to talk about public comment or have a public comment.
All right, well, good afternoon. Under the 2024 Ambulance Service Agreement Amendment 1, the city of Alpena was authorized to purchase a 2024 Horton ambulance with a Stryker powered cot and load system, an 800 megahertz portable communication radio, and an 800 megahertz mobile vehicle communication radio not to exceed $400,000. In October 2024, we took delivery of the new rig with the approved equipment and have verified that all payments to vendors have cleared. This is a requirement by Alpena County prior to reimbursement requests can be approved. I'm now requesting that Alpena County approve the reimbursement request to the city of Alpena in the amount of $372,690.24 for this purchase. I've included the invoices and canceled checks to verify that the expense is valid and allowable for reimbursement. And I have a motion there for you to consider.
okay. So we have action item 1, so I'll read the motion. So we need a motion.
I'll make,
Okay, you don't want me to read it? You'll make the motion to approve it?
Yes.
Okay, I don't have to read it?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. All right, and
I'll
a
second.
second, okay. And then all in favor?
Well,
Aye.
Are you spending money?
yeah, well, we don't want to talk about it.
Well, I think we have before in prior sessions.
I want to talk more.
You want to talk more? Okay,
Well, the only thing I want to say is, so we're going to have, because we looked and we're going to have to do a budget adjustment for this because for some reason it wasn't budgeted for the whole amount. So when whoever, the clerk's office is supposed to write a check.
1,000.
Well, we did that, but apparently we're going to have to do a budget adjustment because there's only, if you look on your report,
200.
there's only 200,000 in there. So, and again, well, that'll be a separate motion, but I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page.
So,
What happens when they decided the amount, I think we used a different tax year's numbers as a base for the formula. And that number is adjusted a little bit. So the money's there. We just have to
Okay.
adjust it. Yeah.
so this actually would be 2 motions.
That in the-
No, so we'll make, we'll,
The
we've already got the
motion
motion to approve this and then we can do a motion for a budget.
A budget adjustment?
Okay,
Okay, so yeah, we'll have to do roll call then.
okay, yep.
Do we have second?
Yeah.
Second, okay.
Okay, Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes,
Commissioner Ludlow,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes,
Commissioner Bray.
Yes,
and I'll make a motion to do a budget adjustment. And we only need enough to cover, because I was talking to the treasurer, unless you're not putting any more ambulances in this. So 175 would cover cover the difference.
okay. To make a motion to transfer $175,000
So do we need,
whatever account number you
I
want.
don't have the numbers off the top.
I'll have to put a formal request in. So it's like the number and
So
stuff.
do you want to do that then later,
Yeah, I can just put it in and that'll just go on the next
the
agenda.
next
Okay.
school board meeting,
which is next, or week, is it
next week.
next Tuesday?
25th.
Okay.
And then
So never mind.
you take from one of these.
Yeah, yep, I'll just put a request in and they'll put it on the agenda for you guys to approve. So that way all the numbers will be accurate.
Okay.
I guess one question if I can have though concerning, I can't remember who I was talking to. Somebody said something about a title missing from the old ambulance.
Yeah, you and I had this conversation.
Oh, okay, I wasn't
We're
sure.
working on the title.
Okay,
We are actually missing two titles from the ambulances. Actually, Chief Forbush never applied for the titles. We just had municipal plates, so we have two titles we're trying to search down. It's gotten a little complex. We're actually suing the Secretary of State of all things, as I understand it, because they have no record of the ambulance. So you have to go to court, you litigate it, and they get court ordered to issue the titles. So we should have the title situation under control. Not sure when. We will turn you over that ambulance. We're waiting for the radio company to come and actually pull the radios out.
okay,
And then once that happens, we'll give it to you. It's just, we won't have clear title on it or any title on it until the court thing.
okay.
So with this new ambulance,
Yep.
you literally go to the Secretary of State, and I don't know the process, but does it must have plates on it, right?
It does. It's got municipal plates.
And you don't need to get titles for those?
No.
Because it seems like we had this conversation earlier.
I shouldn't say that. Yes, it's supposed to be titled. No, it wasn't done. We've actually got a fire truck and two ambulances that there's no
Totally
record.
different, yeah.
Totally different.
So they never been titled then.
Never been titled, but there's also no record of them even being in existence. That's the problem.
So Ralph, if you sue the Secretary
So
of
that's the
State,
job to get the title from the state if you don't have.
It is. We're going on almost 2 years right now.
yeah,
I went through that with pickup that my son had.
Yep.
I think there was a
On it here,
fire truck.
Took it out to Nevada.
Actually, the current fire truck, so our 2000, 2001, that one never got titled either, and that was under Thad Taylor as the public safety director.
So how do you go back to get a title? Did you have to sue on that one as well?
Yes, we're doing all three of them at one time.
What's the three? I thought you said
We
two.
have two ambulances and a fire truck.
Oh,
What's that other certificate that they had looked into? What is it, like a certificate of origin?
Yep.
Yeah,
And see, the problem is those two ambulances, we bought them from the same vendor. The vendor is no longer in service, they're out of business, and the owner passed away. If the owner was alive, he could sign off on it because we actually have so it would actually be a certificate of origin for the cabin chassis from Ford. But when they built the ambulance, they have to actually do a certificate of origin because it's a custom build.
yeah.
so I'm assuming you have titles for the other vehicles?
Yep.
How do you have titles for the majority of your vehicles, but maybe not three?
Somebody didn't file the paperwork.
Mhm.
And now as soon as you buy an ambulance, it automatically gets sent to the Secretary of State, so you don't have an option.
What does, the title does?
Mhm.
So this ambulance that we just bought, before we even received the ambulance and before it was paid for, the title was already shipped to us from the Secretary of State.
Sent to the city.
Yes.
So that was another question that we had. So in the past, how does that work though? Because technically, isn't it the county's ambulance?
It is.
So should we have a copy of the title or how does that work?
It wouldn't matter. The problem is the reason it's titled in the city's name is we have to insure it.
Okay.
We can't insure it if it's under the county's name unless you guys want to insure
No,
it.
no, I'm not asking, I'm just saying just for
Sure.
housekeeping or whatever, because I know that the clerk's office, when we were looking for titles, we'd go into the clerk's office and we could get not a copy, but when we're getting rid of a vehicle, that's where we would get the
Correct.
title.
Correct. So once we give you guys the vehicle, normally we would hand you the title at the same time. With this one, we don't have the title yet. As soon as we get the title, we'll hand it off to you. We could do a salvage title, but then the most that that vehicle,
Yeah.
as I understand, is only $2,000, and I think you can get much more.
Well, we're gonna get a pretty penny for this one.
You will,
Oh, yeah.
probably 10 grand. So one other thing, do you guys want the ambulance at one of the Board of Commissioners, the full commissioners meeting, that I could have in the parking lot for you guys to see before the meeting?
Yeah, the new one?
Yeah.
I'd like,
Well, Jesse and I have already ridden in it,
You
so,
have.
yeah.
I'd like to see it sometime.
Okay, so when's your next commissioner?
We have one on
Tuesday.
the 25th at 5:30, so actually that would work before, we could do it, make it available before the meeting.
Yep. I will make sure it's there and then you guys can, do you want it parked out back, out front? Which,
Right over here.
right over here?
Yeah, in 15-minute parking, we'll just.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just have the crew here about a half hour before the meeting and then you guys can see it before it comes in and
Perfect.
it's pretty color.
Actually, that's what I was gonna say. I wondered about it.
Yeah.
I thought it was, I thought, is that an old one that they've taken over?
Yep, nope, we're actually changing the whole fleet to be the black and the red.
I like that, yeah. Okay, so oh, we voted? Oh, we don't need to vote on it. We're good. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Kim.
Good afternoon, happy Monday. So I have just a couple things for you today. So, I have our monthly statistics for the month of February. We had 673 911 calls, 21 texts to 911, and we had 1,871 entries into our dispatch system.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's the 17th week before last. We completed the installation and go live of our new phone system. That was a little stressful. We worked almost a full day on our backup system, which is reassuring that we worked on it for that length of time and everything went off without a hitch. We were actually up and running with the first two stations a day earlier than that they planned to. And everything went off without a hitch. Everybody's liking the new system. So we're really pleased with that. We have one more week and then we'll give them the final 5% on the project that we owe them. But everything it took longer to get to the end, but when it goes off without a hitch, it's worth the extra time. So have that. So just today I received, I apply every year for a hazard materials emergency preparedness grant through Homeland Security. They just really realized today they had not distributed the agreements and they're due back April 3rd. So this is a grant that is through our LEPC committee. And we can get reimbursed for different things that we've accomplished through that committee through the year. So I will get this completed and to John and Jesse for signature and with your approval, if I can skip bringing it back to this committee for approval to get on the consent calendar, if I can take it straight to full board next week, then I will be able to hit their deadline and not have to ask for any kind of an extension, but I just received it about an hour ago.
Okay.
But what they do is I have paperwork to submit on the different things that we accomplished. So Lucille, those offsite response plans that we review, we get paid for we get a reimbursement for doing that and some other things. And it just puts a little bit of money back into that budget because that budget is in the hole before we ever buy a pencil or a pen or a pad of paper because they don't give us enough to cover the salaries and benefits. So any money that we can claw back is a good thing. I do not know anything about how long it'll take, if it'll take extra time this year before we receive the money with all the chaos going on with FEMA right now. But they sent us the papers today and said, do your best to have them back by April 3rd. So
What is it called?
it's called the HEMP grant. It's HMEP. And that stands for Hazardous Material Emergency Preparedness. And that is a grant through Homeland Security and FEMA.
So how do we handle this? We can make a motion or even if it's not on the agenda?
I guess I'm just giving you a heads up and because normally I would bring it to you and say, I'd like to, submit this, but I just received the paperwork an hour ago, so I haven't filled anything out yet. So if it's okay with you, I'll just ask to be on the agenda for full board next week and I can present it then. But I just didn't want to bypass you without giving you a heads up because normally you would be, more involved in approving that and in that, but I wanted to show you the respect of letting you know that I just received it, but I would like to get it processed and on the full board for next week so that it can still hit their time frame.
Do you know how much?
So I don't. So They say that the application says up to 1,500. It depends on what all we've done. But also it depends on how much money the feds put into the pot. And then it depends on how many people apply, because not everybody applies. So like one year, it said we would get 1,500 and we got almost 3,000. Last year, I think we got 13. Could have that.
Have they already cut in FEMA, or is it just, they're just making the recommendations? I don't know, I kind of lose track.
Yeah, they don't really know yet.
I don't think they know yet. what-
Yeah, I attended a Region 7 meeting online Friday and they really don't know yet.
They're just like at the very, very,
Yeah, so,
so nobody's holding up money, like a wait and see or?
so we did get our money for the Emergency Management Performance Grant, our EMPG grant. We did get that earlier this year. We weren't sure how long that might take, but that's the grant that we get that helps cover this much of salary and benefits. It was less than $5,000 that they awarded us this year for that, but we did receive that, I want to say January. So we did receive that. Other than this hazard materials grant, we won't be expecting any money from FEMA until probably December. So all this kind of chaos that's going on right now doesn't have a huge impact on us because we're not waiting for any money. The Region 7 is waiting on some money for some grant projects, and they don't know when they're going to get their money. But as far as Alpena County, what's going on right now isn't going to impact us until probably the end of the year. If it impacts us then, it's just too soon to know. We don't get funds from them throughout the year. We get it at the end of the year. And then if we apply for the hazard material grant, that's all the money we get from them.
I'm good with that. I don't,
Yeah, I
okay. So,
have no problem with it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I will have this submitted to Kim and get it on the agenda, and I'll give you the full spiel again at full war next week. I just have one other little tiny tidbit for you, just kind of a FYI. So Judge Curtis has inquired a couple of times about radiation from the tower because of the proximity to his office. And so I've done some research on that, and I just got some final answers this afternoon, so I thought I would share it with you in case anyone else mentions it. So point number one is that the 800 megahertz radio tower that we installed has a lot, like substantially less radiation than an AM or FM radio tower. So the amount of radiation is less to begin with, but also the radiation is from the antennas at the top, not anything with the actual tower. So we're really 200 extra feet away from any amount that would be there anyway.
okay.
But, so that's the information I got today that, I felt much better about because my office is right there too, as you know, my people work right underneath of it. So
Yeah.
just thought I'd share that with you since I had that on the tip of my brain, and I'm going to reach out to Judge Curtis as soon as I get back and let him know that as well.
Thank you.
So that's all I've got unless you have any questions for him.
Nothing in particular.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now the ambulance fund monthly report.
I think Jesse was next, wasn't he?
You do that, Jesse? Okay.
On the emergency management update?
Yeah.
So the job posting was approved. Both Alpena and Montmorency County have gone ahead and posted it on our websites, our social media pages, and our job pages like Indeed and LinkedIn.
For the position?
Yep. The contract is being drafted. I received a very rough draft from Russ Reinert late last week, middle of last week, I guess. It needs quite a bit of work still on it, but it's at least a start. So we're gonna get that brushed up, and I'm gonna have it out to you guys later this week, hopefully, so that you can have it approved at the March 25th meeting. Job posting went up with a salary between 50 and 60,000, which was what the agreed amount was. And as discussed previously, it'll be a small savings to Alpena County, but it'll be at minimum, we're thinking $5,000 less that we'll have to pay out for the position. So that'll be nice, but yeah, things are going well. We have 2 applicants so far, one from Otsego County, one from Chippewa County.
Okay, good. Okay, so the ambulance fund monthly report, is that just anybody give that, or we just gonna review it, or?
That's just attached, so you just, receive and file.
Gosh, you see it better.
Okay, so
Actually,
I think we
Sure.
take all the reports
I
and.
was just gonna say, yeah, you can do all 3 at once.
Well, I had a question on both the medical and trips.
We could make the motion for all 3 instead of discussion on any of them.
Okay, so I'll look for a motion to review and file
Okay, I'll make the
the
motion.
reports.
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Well, should we have a conversation now before we?
You need a motion, so you have a motion and a second now, discussion, yeah.
Oh, and before we,
Yeah,
all right.
So the question, and again, I don't know who can answer this, maybe Rob could answer this.
Give it my best shot.
So under our medical examiner, we have this huge increase in unclaimed bodies.
Counting on that one.
Well, it's one unclaimed body in January and one unclaimed body in February. So that's a huge increase for us. And I'm kind of curious, and I don't know who knows or who could answer this, but so like there's a body that's just laying there and it's, no one wants to take ownership of it, or
That I don't know.
have you found many unclaimed bodies in the city in the last couple months? No?
Okay,
Okay.
names for all of them.
So I'm just wondering what an
I usually just
unclaimed.
gloss over this one.
You might reach out to Nick Harrison, Bessie. Nick is the medical control director. He's also involved in that group. So he would probably be able to give you some detail or at least point you in the right direction who would get you that information.
Yeah, because I didn't know whether that was just like some bodies that someone died and we don't know who they are, or,
If I had to guess, they're probably bodies that we know who they are, but they just haven't made funeral arrangements, but I don't know that for a fact.
that's like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I'm really going out on a limb on that.
Oh,
You'd think that if someone in your family was missing, you might,
Yeah, I don't know that we have any, John or Jane Does.
so it's like you said, it probably most likely is a person that has a name, but no one's coming to pick the body up. I wonder where they keep those bodies.
Or nobody
I
wants to
think-
pay for the funeral.
Probably, yeah.
don't they usually go over to Potter's?
Well, it could be though that it's a matter of that there's no family that's been able to be contacted.
No.
Probably, yeah.
That's what I would guess it probably is.
Okay,
Relatives or anything.
Yeah, no relatives.
okay. Well, that was a question that I had on that. And I don't know if this, we can check back with Dan, but the number of February assisted in person was 96. Total phone call assisted was 96 for a total of 183, but basic math tells me that should be like 192. So I'm not sure with that. And then down into the individuals that were assisted, Vietnam was 96, and then others were 96 for total category assisted of 186. So I guess his numbers are,
This looks like an
Confusing.
old sheet that maybe just got,
what's that?
this look kind of like an old Excel
Well, he
sheet.
probably scans them in, but I'm just kind of curious. And again, I can reach out to him, but he just sends this. Okay.
So if you come under the 183, where he's saying 183, and then you add all those, they don't, well, he's got three different.
I added the phone and in person and, I mean, because there's 96 and 96,
Mhm.
you come up with, he comes up unless it, I didn't go to school during that new math era, so I don't know, is that something? I don't know.
I couldn't even get out. I don't know.
And then, like I said, the other, the categories, when you have one category of Vietnam, which unless that's a typo, can you see those? I mean, you guys seeing, it looks like a 96 to me, doesn't it? And then other is a 96.
What are you saying? Looks like a 96?
So Vietnam era,
That looks like 36.
Mine looks like a 96.
Mine says 36.
Does it? Do you have a printed copy?
Yeah.
Says 36.
The thing on
On the,
the computer looks like a 96.
Looks like a
Okay.
90.
All right, well, I'll
Okay.
check on the 96 and the 96.
Total of
Is
86.
is your top two numbers 96 and 96?
no, 96 and 87.
87.
This is what I got in my,
Which, are you looking at February?
yeah. We're in, that would have been the one for this meeting, right?
Yeah, kind of.
What date have you got on it?
February 25th.
That's what we got here, so.
That's weird.
But unless they went in and fixed it,
Well, see, look at.
unless you got more updated one.
Look at the top two, 96 and 96. Is that what you see?
Yeah, yeah. But why is it yellow? Did you?
I
yellow it?
highlighted it
Oh, you
because-
yellowed it. Okay.
Yeah. Because I was just, the numbers didn't add up. So obviously set me up on this. Someone did. Okay,
Okay.
then I'm good.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
Or post.
oh, yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passed. Okay, do we have any other discussion? No?
No, I don't have any.
Okay. Our next meeting will be Monday, April 21st at 4:00. And look for a motion to adjourn.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
A little less than half.